Hello and welcome back. It's been a while since I posted my last video, but we're back, we're here, and we're ready to talk about books. If you recall from my last video, I said I was going to read this huge list of books, specifically books that have been on my shelves for years. Those included Electric Idol by Katie Roberts and Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I have to admit that I did not touch a single one of them. My reading did not go the way that I thought it would. I ended up getting involved in a lot of stuff this month. Obviously, like I mentioned in my previous video, I started a job and I'm still adapting to it because I have no set schedules. So I haven't been able to fall into a rhythm, which is probably gonna take me months to do just because this is a whole different experience and I'm learning how to juggle things between the job and YouTube and other projects that I'm working on. I did end up adding more stuff to my plate, which is maybe not the smartest idea when it comes to my schedule, but I feel very excited about it. I will be talking about those things later on, but for now, let's talk books. I only finished one book in February, and I finished it before I started recording this. As of today, when I'm recording this, is February 29. So yeah, last day of the month. I only finished the book today, and it was because it was an audiobook. I was reading Grit by Dr. Angela Duckworth, and for some reason I dropped it midway, ended up forgetting about it, didn't feel like listening to audiobooks pretty much the entire month. So I just left it to the side, and today I felt like, okay, maybe I should just finish this thing because I know I don't have much of it left. I had maybe like 2 hours left of the audiobook. So I went ahead and listened to the entire thing while I was getting ready this morning to record this and eating and whatever. Grit is about, well, what the title suggests. It's about Dr. Duckworth research and what grit is, how we develop it, how we acquired it, what kinds of experience take a person or help a person become gritty, and just lessons on how that can be implemented to our lives. There's even a grit scale in her website that I planned to sit down and take. It's like a survey or a quest type of thing. So I plan to do that. And as far as I know, based on what she was saying in the book, that is a test that you can take over and over and over and monitor how your grit levels are going, how you're making progress towards your goals, and how you're becoming more capable of doing the things that you want to do, which is very exciting. For me, I love things that let you monitor progress. I like structure, I like quizzes, tests, all that kind of stuff, surveys, whatever. So I'm very excited to jump into that, and I can definitely make a video on it. I'm probably going to, just to evaluate and see how much that works for me. Obviously, something that works for me doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna work for someone else, and vice versa. So I suggest you go and give it a try, read the book, do the test on her website, and tell me your experience. Let me know how that went and what you felt, and if it's something that you found valuable or not. Other than that, February was a slow reading month for me. I did read, or I should say I made progress in reading Culpa Mia by Mercedes Ron, which is a romance that is also a Prime Video original movie, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's an original movie by Prime. I love that movie so much that I knew that I needed to read the book. I've watched the movie so many times. I think this month alone, I'd watched it at least twice. So that tells you how much I love this story. Now, obviously the book has more detail to it, is much, much longer in the storyline than the movie, as it typically is. And it has so many details that let you understand the characters a little bit more than you would understand them in the movie alone. I loved even the changes that they made from the movie that are not necessarily things that happened in the book, just the way that they adapted those things. I think that they did a really good job. Typically, I'm the type of person that is always nagging, like, oh, why do you add these things? Or why did you not add this thing that was in the book? Yada yada. And I'm like always giving a hard time about that. But in this case, the movie was really good. The decisions that they made, the creative liveries that they took, were very good, and I feel like they added onto the story and the experience of the movie rather than subtracting. I got through around 200 pages of the book out of 500 and something that it is, and I plan to continue reading it. I am also going to continue reading the rest of the series, which helps us transition into the next part of the video, which is my March TBR. On the top of my list for March, obviously, is continuing the Culpa Mia book. And if I'm able to finish it, I'm going to at least try to start Culpa Tuya, which is the second book in the trilogy, and then move on to Culpa Nuestra, which is the last book. I have all three of them on my Kindle in Spanish, which is very exciting. I got them through my library, so I am reading them slowly. I'm just gonna take my time. I'm not going to pressure myself into trying to finish these books, all three of them, in March, because I feel like that's not gonna be realistic because of everything that I mentioned already. But I'm going to try my best because I am enjoying the story a lot. So I want to see if I can read a little bit every night and just make progress slowly and see what happens. No pressure, no specific number of pages that I want to get through or anything. Just get through them when I get through them. Aside from this story, I also want to go back to the audiobooks, which I did say that I wasn't going to do much this year, but I think that as of right now, where I am and the things that I'm working on, I think audiobooks are going to complement what I'm doing very, very nicely. So I'm going to make an exception. In March, I'm going to try to add nonfiction audiobooks. So I'm probably going to be looking into more personal and professional development books, as well as adding some biographies in there. I am looking into learning what people do and how people have gone from point A to point B. And I think biographies are a great way to do that. Because yes, I do read a lot of personal and professional development books where authors talk about particular topic, but I want to see more. I want to see what their journey was. What path led them to where they got to? What things did they do before they actually had that breakthrough that brought them to X, Y, or Z place in their life? Obviously, the books that they write typically tend to be more focused on that particular lesson, and it kind of makes a compilation of experiences from different people or different just scenarios that they experience, but it doesn't tell you the full story. It doesn't tell you what happened before. It doesn't tell you what the struggle was to actually get that information. So I feel like going into the biographies and autobiographies and all that stuff that talks about people's journeys is going to complement nicely that knowledge that I'm trying to acquire. But enough of that. Just know that that is my plan for March. I do not have a specific author. I don't have a specific book that I want to read. I'm just going to go through the alternatives or whatever pops up when I'm working on the projects that I have on the side. I'm going to be talking about them at some point. I don't know when, but hopefully soon. I plan to use those projects and implement them into my content, so you will see a shift in the types of videos I'm going to be posting, but I am definitely going to try my best to continue the bookish content because of course that is my pride and joy, my passion is books. So I'm definitely going to continue making book related videos here, but I'm going to be adding a lot more stuff. I feel like I can bring so much value with other topics. Of course, that knowledge is gonna stem from the books that I read. We can talk more about that in another video, so let me know in the comments if that's something that interests you. That is all I have for you today. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification button so you know when I upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.